Okay everyone, we're back again with another video. Subject today is lifting your Shadow or Wraith. I'll show you how to lift it on a 2-column lift as well as a floor jack. We're walking around here to the side of the lift and we're gonna put this up for you. There we go. And there we go. We're resting on the safeties right now. Mohawk. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, the whole idea on the 2-column lift is to obviously lift it in the right spot. There's an awful lot of damage done to these things when they're not lifted properly. I have seen many cars being lifted right here at the rear subframe mounts. Inevitably they'll be crushing the locating plate. Big no-no. Seems like a great place, and essentially it is, but it's not what the manual says. Up in the front, look for this cross member here. It's very easy to find. It's at a right angle to the sill. At that intersection, let's see if I can get a better shot here. Ah, yes, here we go. At that intersection is really where you want to put your pad. Okay? And you swing over to the opposite side of the car. You will find the same intersection. This car is a little different. It's a 1980 with a catalytic converter here, a big one, and also very costly. It's about $4,000 to replace it. Maybe one of these days I'll do a video and show you how we basically rebuilt this catalytic converter. Not difficult, you just have to have the right tools. Let me just swing around to the back here and show you, like for reference, where this is, if that helps. But again, it's opposite the other side. So now we will swing back to the rear, and this one's a little bit easier. Look for your trailing arm, and right by the trailing arm you will find the end of your locating tubes here. You will find a plate. Let's see if I can get the perspective on this one. Right opposite the mounting bolt, there's a plate with a bolt. I bridge the pad between the sill and the plate. Let's see if I could show you on the other side if it's any clearer. It gets dark under here. Maybe that's a little bit better. Same thing on this side. You could see the edge of the plate right here. But again, it's not difficult to find these things. The pad is covering up the head of the bolt. Oh, here we go. This is much better. There we go, right there. Okay, that's 2-post. If you were to jack this car up with a floor jack, or sometimes called a trolley jack, here's what you want to do. Number one, get a good trolley jack. I've had this Hind Warner for, that has to be 30 years. It's a 1.5 ton. It's plenty. I might as well do the front. As per the manual, jack it up right here in the front. There's a side view, much better. I like to place a block of wood. Some people you can use a hockey puck. You get the idea. You don't want metal against metal and crunching and chipping off paint and all that other good stuff. You could put one here. Okay, you put your trolley jack here. Let's walk to the back of the car. And we'll get to the differential. There we go. Can't miss this one. Not under here. This is very thin sheet metal. Well, I wouldn't say too thin, but it's sheet metal. It's basically spot welded, and then it's filled with a foam. This simply holds the rear differential in position with one bolt on each end and a torque arm on the side, and that's it. You should not be jacking underneath here. Here is fine. Again, I would put a block of wood under here. So now you can basically lift the whole rear with a floor jack. Once you get it up in the air in the back, you can put floor jacks with a block or a pad. They make these rubber pads that fit over the top of a floor jack. Back over here where I showed you where my lift pads are, you could put jack stands under there. Back in the day when I was using jack stands, we're talking the last millennium, I used to use a lot of jack stands just for safety, more the better. Go to here, let's walk up front. Up front, you have a few options. If your floor jack is here, you might be able to squeeze. I used to put them right underneath the brackets for the front sway bar. Okay, you can, if you want, bring them over here to the side of the subframe. Again, I would pad this as well. At this point, your suspension is hanging, which is fine. Back in the day also, what we used to do is get sections of tree stumps. All right, nice fat ones, good 10, 12 inches, and stick them under the car. You could do a lot with those things, and nothing's going to happen to them. Basically, this is the scenario. Again, 2-post trolley, floor jack location, and that would be about it. Now we're going to bring the car down. And now to bring it down, you actually have to go up with it to release the locks on it. There. We're going to walk around to this side. Look at the size of those pistons. Are they beautiful? Anyway, let's walk around this side. And now we could let the car down. If you have a 2-post, at one point you'll find where the sweet spot is in terms of how far to drive the car in relation to the lifting arms. What I've done here is not only mark the floor, but I put a 2x4 on the floor. I have a little wiggle room here, but you can see that's where the front is. Actually, the lift is not fully down. If you can find a Mohawk on Craigslist, buy it. You'll probably pay around $2,500 for the System 1 10,000 pound lift, which will rate it up to 15,000, by the way. You'll have no problem with this. I found out yesterday that The presidential limousine, otherwise known as the Beast, is serviced in the White House shop with nothing but Mohawk lifts, and it's the only lift that the government will buy. Just to let you know where our tax dollars are going. But anyway, these arms will lift. Well, I shouldn't say lift. They lock, I think about 6 or 8 inches off the floor. So that thing is just an absolute brute in terms of its construction. This is all 3/4 inch forklift steel. 9 steel rollers, steel, no plastic, lubricated for life. And this lift does not move when it's going up. The floor plates alone are 20 inches by 30 inches, so again, it's not going anywhere. All right, I think we're done here. Please tune in. There will be other videos produced this week. See ya.